Welcome to my vlogs Love Ultras. I'm John Kynaston and this is episode 32. It's now Saturday the 24th of March 2018, and which means that next Saturday, because this video will go out on Monday, will be 6 weeks to go to the Northern Traverse, and this is my countdown. And I started these at 18 weeks and I'm now down to 6 weeks, so that's 12 weeks of training that has gone so far. This week I just had an easier week really. Last Saturday was the Hardmoors 55, which, as I shared last week, was for us reduced to just under 43 miles. And it's been quite interesting just following the news reports. On Monday I was in work and I had Jeremy Vine on at lunchtime, and he was talking about the race and had on a guy from the Mountain Rescue who was excellent, who basically gave a really good report of the race and quite an honest one. And then they had this ex-policeman on who had nothing to do with the race, but generally was saying that the race shouldn't have started and the organisers didn't know what they were doing and all this sort of rubbish. And I really felt for John and Shirley, who were good friends. They put on a brilliant race, but what was so encouraging was the support of everyone in the Hardmoors family. Just the amount of people who got in touch with them and thanked them for all the hard work they do and the way the race is set up. So it was great to be part of that race, and I probably wasn't planning to do it next year, but because we didn't finish it, and next year will be the 10th anniversary of the race, and I did the first one, and Katrina is quite keen to finish the whole race, so I think, well, I'm pretty sure we will be back next year, and it will probably fit in quite well with other plans that I've got for next year as well. So I just had a couple of runs midweek. So I was going to, normally I would have another run on Saturday. I would have at least Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday off. But I knew Tuesday and Wednesday were going to be really busy work-wise. In fact, it was my birthday on Tuesday, and we had a busy day. I had a busy day at work, and then we were going out for a meal in the evening. I knew it would be difficult to get a run in. And then Wednesday it was again a long day. We had an athletics event on right throughout the day, and then a dance in the evening. So I didn't get home till almost 9 o'clock. So I knew that was going to be difficult to run on Wednesday. So I decided to run Monday instead, and I just did an easy 4.5 miles or so road run. But my left calf was a little bit tight. Maybe I needed to give it another day or two of rest. But I didn't run again then for Tuesday, Wednesday. Ran on Thursday, did my run around the Pollock Park at lunchtime, and it seemed to be okay, so that was fine. And then this morning I was up and out by about 7:20 and did my 12-mile run around the Braes. Now, I've talked quite a bit about running on the Braes, so I thought for this Love Ultra I would just take some video clips, and I've put it together as a little diary really of my run and give you a sense of what it's like. And it's great because it's just right from the doorstep, and within a mile I'm up on the countryside, and it's got a bit of everything, as you'll see from this video. So I hope you enjoy just getting a sense of what it's like running up on the Gleniffer Braes, which is my staple run really. If I do an 11-mile, 15-mile run, that's where I tend to go off-road. So I hope you enjoy this little just a little taste of what it's like on the Braes. Right, I thought this morning I'd give you a little tour of my Gleniffer Braes route and do my just under 12-mile loop. And the sun's out, it looks nice and clear, blue skies, so it should be a good run. This is the only main road across. So we've left the cycle track and we're now heading up to the start of my big loop. So sometimes this bit is really muddy, but it's a lot drier today. So when I get here, I always think, right, it's going to be if this is muddy, it's going to be muddy all the way around. That gate just ahead, that's the start of my big loop. So it's about 1.6 miles from the house to this point, and most of the time I go left here, but there are some times when, to make it a bit different, I go right. So we've just run from the gate there, just a few hundred yards, and then we take a right here, and now this is a climb for about probably a good half a mile, and it's a good lung busting climb. Some very impressive Highland cattle. Fortunately they're on the other side of the gate, so that's good. Good morning. And so we start to see the hill now. So we just come down that track, and now we go through this little gate. We follow this path alongside the fence, and then we start climbing up to the windy tree. So we just go through this gate and then just follow the path in between the two fences, and that's the windy tree and the little cairn. So I just run down the hill from the tree there. Nice grassy path, and then we're now just alongside the reservoir, and this next little section over this field till we get to the road is probably the muddiest bit. As you can see, it is quite muddy still, just the last little bit. And once you come off that muddy bit, you just have a little bit up on the road, and you just go past Paisley Golf Club. So basically just run through the car park, past that flagpole, and then we get into the open ground again. Okay, this little tiny wooden bridge here crossing this little stream is my first mini split. So I've been going 5.12 miles overall, and this mini split is 3.46 miles. Right, so we've just run from that mini split past the golf course, and then this is Robinson's car park, and I just crossed the road here, and then I've got it's a 1.7 mile loop around this part, and I'll come back to this point in a few minutes, well 20 minutes or so. Okay, just come up the hill there from the car park, and now you get a great view towards Glasgow, and then this is Paisley, and the airport is over there somewhere as well, and Eldersley and Kilbarchan, and then heading out towards the hills. Right, we're coming up to the highest point of the run, and we have a trick point, and this is probably one of my favourite views of this run, because from here, okay, you've got these pylons, but trying to ignore those, but right in the distance there, you've got Ben Lomond, still in quite a bit of snow at the top. And when I first started doing this route, when I did the West Highland Way in 2007, when I ran on this little loop here, I used to imagine that I was running on the West Highland Way below that Ben Lomond alongside the Lochside, and it was a good inspiration. But what a day today. The contrast with last week when Katrina and myself did the Hardmoors 55 in that brutal weather, even though Andy Cole said you shouldn't call it brutal, just challenging, but fair enough. But what a great view. This is a nice little bit where you run through the trees, and again it's a little muddy but nowhere near what it was the last few weeks. Right, this now is the furthest point that I am away from home, so heading back that way now. So if you look at the map, then I'm at the furthest point away on the sort of long loop, and from now I'm going to turn right at the bottom here, and I'll be heading back to the car park, and then back through the car park, and then back down to the very start of my loop. Here we are, so heading back now. Again, just lovely views to my left here. We're now back up to the road crossing. So that mini split was 2.6 miles. So we've now just got, it's just over 2 miles back to the start of the big loop, and then the 1.6 back to the house. I always think as I head down this little path heading to the start of my loop, this is sort of the last little view of Ben Lomond, and higher up going to start descending quite quickly now. So we just crossed this road. That's the road which goes up to the golf course. So I've been to the top of that one, and we're now just running through Glen Park. Okay, anyone familiar with the Hardmoors route, particularly the second half, the 60 from Saltburn to Filey, will know that you have lots and lots of steps like these. Now at the bottom here, normally I just go right and it just carries on, but I'm going to take you left because just round the corner is a little hidden gem of Paisley. And this is a little waterfall. It's not quite so rushing today, but in the winter, probably a couple of weeks ago, this would have been a torrent as the snow was melting and coming down. But it's a nice little hidden gem, just about 2 miles away from my house. So here we are. This has completed my big loop. So it's 10.4 miles, and then I've got to say about another 1.6 to go. So it'll be just around about 12 miles altogether. Right, that's me finished my run, just on 12 miles and about 2 hours 20. It took a bit longer today because I was obviously taking some video clips and taking my time, but felt great. And this week I've got I'm going to run Monday, Wednesday, and then I've got my next recce weekend on the Northern Traverse route. So I do Friday, Saturday, and Katrina's going to come with me to support. But I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Gleniffer Braes. As you can see from that video, the weather was brilliant, and the contrast from last Saturday when we were in 45-mile-an-hour winds and driving blizzard snow was amazing. And if the race had been this Saturday rather than last Saturday, then we'd have had something similar, I think, down in Yorkshire. But it wasn't, and we had what we had. This week I've planned to run on Monday and Wednesday, and then basically next weekend, well in fact I'm going to run Friday, Saturday because it's the Easter weekend. So we're going down on Thursday night to Keswick, staying with our friends Dave and Tracy, and then Katrina's coming with me. We'll drive across early to Shap, and I'll run from Shap hopefully all the way to Reeth. If the time's getting a bit tight, I might stop a little bit earlier, and then we're staying in a B&B, Airbnb. And then the next day, so it'll be Saturday, I'll run from where I finished, hopefully Reeth, to Danby Wisk, which is about another 24 miles, and then we're going to again stay in the same Airbnb and then head back home on Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to do that next section. And the first recce I did was over the Lake District from St Bees to Shap, and so this section is going to be across the Pennines really. And I think from what I can gather from different people, there's some parts where you do have to be careful on the navigation, so that will be fun. I ordered a Harvey's maps today because I thought that would be quite good to have a better map rather than the one I just printed out. So that was the plan for that. And I've also downloaded the route onto my watch, so I'm going to try those two things as well as my Garmin handheld one. So hopefully I won't make the same silly mistakes that I made on the first recce, but if I do, that's part of the preparation, isn't it, for doing these races and doing the recces. So as I say, the race is 6 weeks next Saturday, so it's well in fact 7 weeks today, isn't it, because it's the Saturday I'm recording this. So it's definitely getting closer, and I'm really looking forward to getting back on the route and getting a sense of what that section's like on the Northern Traverse. So hopefully I'll be able to get this out on Sunday when I get back, or if it's a day or two late, then we'll see. But hopefully I'll be able to get it out when we get back. So have a good week, and I'm certainly looking forward to getting on the course again. So bye for now.